This is an update on the court consolidation, and I just want to give an update on the meeting from November 24th, November 24th, at our last special village board meeting, and there was technical difficulties with our link at that time, and there was people that were not able to get in. I believe we have those resolved. At least I have my fingers crossed that they're resolved. We love technology, but we also hate it at times when it doesn't work appropriately for us. So just as a reminder, this meeting is being recorded. It will be posted at a later date and sent to Panda. And for those who don't know, we now have a YouTube channel that we're going to try to get out to everybody, so people can also watch these on our village YouTube channel. Okay, so I'd like to just jump right in here. On November 24th, I called a special board meeting, and it was primarily to talk about the court consolidation. I wanted to talk to the board about where I was at and what I wanted to do going forward. And we did take care of some other business, but the most important thing of the evening was about court consolidation. So just to give you an update, I did send out a message to our distribution after that, and I'll just reread that part of that message to give you a mindset of what we did. Excuse me. Since we voted to move towards consolidation of the judicial operations with the town of Rhinebeck, we have heard from many of you, and you were right. It was clear that we need to hear more and continue engaging in the process with residents before taking the final vote. I called this special meeting on November 24th of the Village Rhinebeck Board to consider a resolution for reconsideration. What that means is the board would table the consolidation plan to allow for further update from all of the stakeholders. So essentially, we've took a Rhinebeck pause. We are also mindful of the risks of holding an election in the middle of a pandemic. A special election would not only be expensive to village taxpayers, but it also put poll workers and voters at risk. I proposed to the board at that time that the village and town form a village and town judicial task force to review the proposals that came from the LaBerge Group on consolidation and work with Judge Sanchez, Judge Kane, the staff, and then hold a series of public forums that will allow residents to weigh in on the pros and cons of consolidating other courts. At that meeting, the Rhinebeck Village Board approved the resolution for reconsideration of abolishing the Village Justice Court and agreed to form the joint task force. We are looking forward to hearing from all of you in the coming months as we work together to make good policy. That was the letter I sent out, and it still is true today. Some other discussion that we held that evening was about the task force. The questions that were asked were, what makes up the task force? And what I had proposed to the board and approved by the board was that it would be 2 members from the village board, 2 members from the town board, possibly 1 member from the county, if they so choose to wanted to participate, and the task force felt that that was appropriate. And that would be the makeup of the task force with the judges to go forward. Excuse me 1 second. So we adopted a resolution. I'm also going to read the resolution so you know what we talked about that evening. This is the Village of Rhinebeck resolution for reconsideration abolishing Village Justice Court. The resolution reads, whereas by resolution dated September 21st, 2020, the Village Board of Trustees of the Village of Rhinebeck resolved to abolish the Office of Village Justice upon the expiration of the current term ending on March 31st, 2021. And whereas such resolution was subject to the requirements of a permissive referendum under village law, therefore a timely petition was filed and no objection having been prosecuted through the Supreme Court of the village board was required to hold a special election for the voters to decide whether the office of village justice should be abolished. And whereas it is evident that this issue has drawn significant interest from our residents of the village of Rhinebeck, and that any such election apparently will encourage significant voter turnout, which during the current pandemic is something the village board does not want to encourage. Therefore, be it resolved that in accordance with Village Law 9-906, the Village Board of Trustees of the Village of Rhinebeck hereby reconsiders the resolution and does hereby repeal the September 21st, 2020 resolution abolishing the village justice, and therefore the proposition for its approval shall not be submitted at such an election. All were in favor. All the board and myself voted A to adopt this resolution. I hope that clarifies our discussion on what we had. I mean, it's really the summary of it. I'll be gladly to open this up to questions if anybody has any questions about that decision on November 24th.
Hi, Gary. It's Pat Evans.
Hi, Pat.
So I did not hear the original discussion on the prior call for the team meeting.
Right.
I did listen to the rebroadcast, and my question is that with the rescinding the resolution, what does, I heard somebody say, I'm not sure who it was, that it might not be able to come back up again for 2 years. Is there some sort of time frame? I don't understand when it might.
Good question. Very good question. So, and I'm going to answer in two parts. One is we're not going to do anything right now. We said we're going to not form the task force or move ahead with anything until after the first of the year. And then the village board will have to work on pulling that plan together. So there's nothing immediately that's going to happen tomorrow, next day, next week. We're going to get through the holiday period. We're going to get into, into January, February, when we're going to act on this. So, but your primary question is, how does, what is the timing of this? Basically what we're saying is we're not going to pass a resolution prior to the March 31st end of term for the existing judges. And what that means is you cannot abolish a court, right, until the end of a term. So this is really going to be a 2-year exercise for us to go through. If the task force comes forward and that's the result, or whatever the task force ends up coming, another vote could not occur until we're ready to the end of the term of the judges. Make sense?
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
So we're on instead of a New York pause, we're on a Rhinebeck pause. I really felt it's important to have more time, to have more discussions, to explain to people pros and cons of this. Any other questions? Trustee Lewitt, you're on. Did you want to add anything?
I don't have anything to add. I think that but I'll say something, right? I think taking the time, letting people really understand the interior of the process, getting a good sense for what they think, it's the appropriate thing to do rather than trying to rush this whole thing. So yes, I think this is the right step to take.
So again, thank you for everybody for wanting to join. And I really, again, I want to apologize for our again, another technical issue with the link being corrupted. and that people weren't able to join last time early enough to hear the discussion, but it is available for rebroadcast. And I believe it's out, well, Pat said it's already out, right, Martina?
Yes,
Has it gone out on our YouTube channel yet? Do you know?
it should have been.
We have to publicize that so people can now watch on our Village of Rhinebeck YouTube channel. Another way of trying to get information out to everybody.
Roger, did you have a question?
Yes, sorry, I missed the beginning of the meeting, so you might have already covered this. And the new task force, are you going to publish how people will be nominated to this committee?
All right, so first off, Roger, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Well done.
Everybody doesn't know. We're not going to sing, no, Roger, okay?
You don't want me to sing either.
Okay. All right, no, so Roger, what I proposed and what was accepted by the village board was the task force was going to consist of 2 people from the village board, 2 people from the town board, possibly a person from the county, because the county paid for it and the county has input into some of the savings, but that will be decided by the task force if they want county participation on the committee or if they just want to have them for input. And the judges be Judge Sanchez, Judge Kane, and hopefully the staff as well. That will be the makeup of the task force.
Oh, so I thought I misread. Maybe I thought there would be citizen participation, or no?
That's not what I proposed.
Okay.
Now, the task force can then, once the task force is set in motion, the task force can choose to do how they want to operate, right? They can modify this and get approval, and if they want to go forward. But I'm going to leave that up to the task force after both the town and the village appoint members to that task force.
And who would chair the task force?
That will be selected by the task force.
Okay, very good.
Task force will appoint their chair. Does that answer your question, Roger?
Yeah. I'm sure I'll have more questions.
Sure. And if you missed, we're not going to do anything in December, Roger. This is going to be, there's nothing going to happen until after the first of the year. Okay. So there's no immediate action that's going to be taken, with board members being appointed in this next month.
Any other questions?
I hope there is. I hate to end a meeting so quickly. We've never had a meeting end this quick.
We might get used to it.
Sure. That's progress, by the way.
Hey, it's Diane.
Hi, Diane.
Hey, I just want to thank you and the board for considering the petitions that were done and the commentary that you heard and sort of taking this other approach so that we get, good consensus across the people in the village. So I just wanted to express that.
Thank you, Diane.
Hear, hear.
I was not aware of this option in the beginning. I had to work with legal, both NICOM, which is our contact, and our own village attorney, and this has all been approved by legal and, is part of process we can take. So that's why I proposed it to the village board.
Go ahead, Diane.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, this is Dan Cisterna. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can, Dan.
Yeah, I'm sorry I got in late. I just need to get this clarified because I've heard a couple different things because I've been in and out of this. I thought the petition required, once it was filed, that you had 60 days, that you had to have a vote. So I don't know how that's being overruled and if it's legal, but I guess you said you talked to your legal counsel. And the resolution you passed, did you abolish the resolution to consolidate, or are you just tabling the whole thing for more discussion?
So it's basically, we rescinded the vote on the previous resolution from September 21st. And so therefore it's being tabled until a future date, until the task force that I propose comes together. The task force will eventually come up with a plan and a schedule and a report back to both town and village boards.
So you rescinded the village vote, the village board vote.
Correct. And it's the village that has to make this decision. The town does not have to make the decision. This is a village decision because it's the village that had voted to abolish the court.
Well, I thought it had it, well, whatever. I thought the town had to agree to take it on and they had approved it first. Anyway,
Yeah, they
no
did.
matter.
They did. But
Okay, so basically I feel that the residents who signed that petition have basically been disenfranchised their due to have a vote on this within 60 days of having that petition approved, which it was. But now you've gotten approval to go back and suspend your vote, which means the village hasn't approved this, but you're going to have a task force to review it, which obviously means you're going to bring it up again and you're going to vote on it again. Is that true? Is that what your intentions are? I mean, I would assume so.
the intentions are then, yes, the village board will have to vote again to be able to do this. But we already have the petition. If the vote is the same, the petitions are already cast. That's how I understand the legal.
So you're going to go back. Okay. So the board will go back and vote on this again. And if they turn it down, then that's it. If they approve it, then the petition that was already filed still stands and we still have to have a vote by the village residents.
We still need to have a vote. That's correct.
And when would that likely take place?
I don't have a schedule for that at all, Dan.
Are you looking down the road to piggyback that with the general election in March?
No, we're not going to do it in March. In the resolution that I read, that we will not be doing this in the March general election. It'll be sometime after that. And then, so I look at this as a long venture here.
Okay, so there's a ways to go either way on this.
Yes, absolutely.
Alrighty, thank you.
Very, very good questions. Hello, Linda, you're joining us a little late. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Are there any other questions or comments?
Close neighbors, and so I think that is right where when I think if this discussion about annexation had been with a little more open-handed way from both sides began, they could have not gone to the board footing they did, but because they were kind of, you have this insular group and then you have a big group in Monroe, Summaku,
Is somebody having a general discussion, or are they asking a question? I'm sorry.
in the situation where small misunderstanding instantly goes to
Hello?
Completely, yeah. And the film does also address, because there were.
It sounds like a background conversation.
Yeah, I just want to mute everybody and then let.
Can you mute them, Martina, please? Hello, is any, all right. Any other questions or comments, please?
I guess just a question of clarification. So the village elections and slated for March will have there will be we'll be voting for a justice as well. Is that correct, for a term of 4 years?
It will be 2 years. Village Justice is 2 years. We'll be voting for another term. Yes.
2, okay.
Okay. I'd like to thank everybody for their participation and coming out this evening. And I'd like to wish, I hope everybody had a Thanksgiving as best as it could be, given the current situation. And I wish everybody a happy holiday season. I just want to ask you to all be safe, be cautious, wear a mask, and enjoy.
Thank you.
Good night.
Wait, excuse me, Martina has a question. Go ahead, Martina.
Just in case anybody would like to participate, the mayor will be holding a virtual village town hall next Wednesday, December 9th at 6 o'clock. So if you are interested, send me an email, let me know what you'd like to discuss, and I'll get you signed up.
Yes, I always look forward to those chats. All right, everybody, have a wonderful evening. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Good night.
Good night.